Hi everyone, and welcome back to Nighttime Narratives. It's been a while, hasn't it? I know you've been missing your bedtime stories. I have too. I like this time for us. It's a good time. I like sharing these narrative games with you, and I like talking to you, and I hope you enjoy them as well. What can I say? Life gets in the way sometimes, and we don't always get our bedtime stories. Tonight we're going to be playing Don't Wake the Night. It's a game largely created by my friend Santo Vieira Ojeda, and they're wonderful. You should follow them on Twitter. I'll link it in the description, but they're at Babygoth, BABBYGOTH, on Twitter. They did the design, the story, and the art. Programming is by Carlo Feliciano. The wonderful music that we're hearing now and the sound design are by Helena Heron. And there's also Therese Amanatigui. I'm terrible with pronouncing names. Teresa Amunatigui, aka TVMA. Her composer for Hazy Future, which is featured in this. This game also features some voice talent. Megan Byrne, Lisha Marie Riddell, Sebastian Yu, Theodore, Bishar Elmi, Laquan Collins Bacchus, Tia Camilleri, and Hadia M. And special thanks to Robert Duguay for voice recording and production. And there was some additional bug fixing by Laura Ash McGee. This is a Brujeria at Werk production, and let me just read you kind of the description of it, because I think that might put you in the right mindset for the game. Welcome to Don't Wake the Night, a world and a story about community and accountability. Mystery unfolds as you, the ghost a community of witches has summoned, must act as their impartial judge. But for what purpose? This game came out in 2019, and there's a phenomenal bit of writing, games criticism piece over at Vice Games by Cameron Kunzelman, another dear friend. And it's really good. You should read it. I'll link it in the description as well. But why don't we get started? This is Santo's art, you can tell. Because Santo did the art, but also because this is characteristic of their heavy lines and beautiful use of color. There's a lot of eyeballs peering at us right now. And they're blinking. They're staring around. It feels a bit like we're being observed, which is something that we'll soon find is a theme of this game, being observed. So let's start. And with great apprehension she said, "Don't wake the night, for its darkness will reveal the truth."
And today we gather in hopes for receiving an answer to the commotion currently upsetting our community. And we ask any wandering spirit to grace us with their presence and endless wisdom.
This doesn't feel right. We shouldn't be bothering a spirit to take care of our problems.
We're just wasting our time by being here. She really likes to show off, huh?
Well, I mean, you might be onto something here, but I would just wait and see what happens.
I should be sleeping right now. Well, I don't really know why we're here. I don't get into trouble.
I hope you know what you're doing, because if no one's happy by the end of this, then it'll all just be a big waste of time.
It'll all be over by nightfall. I guarantee it.
What if the spirit blames me? I didn't do anything.
Just remember our bonds before all this happened. That's what will always remain true once this is over.
Spirit will let me know. Until then, we must wait.
Everything always ends well. Or at least things end.
I'm sure we'll realize this is all a mistake soon enough. Go home and forget this ever came about.
So, here we are. We're in the woods, and it's night, and there's this coven of witches, and they've got a summoning circle, and they've summoned us, and we have this perspective, this kind of omniscient view of everything that's going on, and we got this little spectral little icon of a hand that we can interact with things. And we are the spirit. We have been summoned to observe and to ultimately pass judgment, to make a decision. And that's a lot, that's a lot of responsibility. But it's our responsibility, and we're going to take that seriously. Judgment is not something that must be done lightly. And we have these lovely, pensive, some fearful, some anxious illustrations of these women, these people by Santo. These witches all have something going on with them, you can tell. Because we all have something going on with us. That's how it works. That's just how it is. We all have something. We all have secrets. We all have anxieties. We have fears and wants and desires. And sometimes we have those in ourselves, and we have them as part of a group, and we have to make those work as a community. This is a game about community and about the bonds and the friction and the way in which we must come together sometimes. Santo is Guarani, and this game figures kind of prominently, borrowing from Guarani folklore and community identity and things like that. That is who Santo is in some ways. But there's much more to Santo, just as there's much more to all of these witches who have come here, and we're going to find out now. So we have ways of interacting. For instance, I can click on this person. Oh, and what was that? No. Oh, something spectral. A ghost. Or maybe just an anxiety, fear. Oh, see, hiding behind the tree, watching. Is there another observer? Perhaps there is. But we are spirit, and we don't interact directly. We interact indirectly, such as through this rock, or this branch, or this fruit. Maybe this torch, or this log that's growing, these thick mushrooms, because we're deep in the forest at night. And deep in the forest is where mushrooms grow on logs, where things are dying and being turned into new life, made way for other things. Let's see. Why don't we click on this log? Let's see. Oh, something's happened. Oh, they've shuffled. These witches have moved around and they've take your time. The game wants us. This is a game about patience and yes, have patience. It wants us to take our time. It wants us to take it seriously. You won't be here for long. Oh, they shuffled back. Oh, well, I guess we were too patient. But, they moved around again. Okay, let's click on these two. This one seems to be holding their cheek. Maybe they have a toothache. I don't think they have a toothache. When will this end? Says the hunter. And see, they all have masks that are tied to their identity. And this is the hunter who's speaking. He says, when will this end? And this is the healer. By sunset, I hope. So it's not quite nightfall yet. There's too much tension for it all to end tonight. Well, when a tree branch is tense, it either snaps or flings forward with full force. I feel like either of those would be bad. I know you love the Whisperer, but I cannot control whatever the outcome is. Only to interpret what the Spirit says. So we're the Spirit, and the healer will have to interpret what we ultimately say. We're better off bracing ourselves for the incoming storm. Everyone seems to be ignoring.
Right.
It is true, we are in the eye of the storm, and some of us will duck our heads under safety, while the rest will be swept away. So already there's a tension here between the healer and the hunter, which are, in a way, in some regards, they're opposites, but are they really? They're over here forming a unit right now, talking. And there's the character of the Whisperer, who we have not met yet. Maybe we will. Oh, they moved again. We'll send them back where they were. Let's talk again, see how these two are saying. One of them seems kind of standoffish. And this is the hero over here. The hero has their mask. Say, listener. This is the listener. The listener looks pretty grumpy. The listener has to listen to a lot, I imagine, and that can try one's patience. Sometimes it's hard listening. If it's another complaint or opinion on how to fix community ills, their eyes are so big now. I don't want to hear it. No need to worry, listener. I really wanted to thank you for helping arrange this. Oh, well, you're welcome. But it's really Guardian who you should thank. She was able to convince Healer to carry this out. Despite all her doubts. Doubts are hard to shake off. Let's look up. Have my doubts ruined me? Who could this be? They're wearing a mask. And they have some braids, it seems. They're a mask like the others. Is this Whisperer? Have my doubts ruined me? Doubts are powerful. Can doubts ruin us? I don't know. It's hard to say. Doubts are hard to shake off. They are. But sometimes necessary to step past. That's true. Indeed. I just wish Healer wasn't such a stubborn stick in the mud about it. She's always been that way, hasn't she? even back when. Let's not talk about the past right now. Only one time period at a time, please. Well, we've learned more about this community, and listener definitely has some doubts about healer and hero. Small diminutive hero who seems very anxious right now. We've got some thoughts. Oh, let's move something else. Let's move this fruit. See what happens. Oh, now listeners over here with healer. What could they be talking about? Thank you again for your cooperation in today's ritual. Yet, we must brace ourselves in case the answer we receive is not the one we want. Then let's hope that's what we want. But does everyone really want that? An answer? Of course, it's why we're all gathered here. Do you think that's true? I don't. I think a lot of times we don't want answers. We may think we do, but call it a celestial hunch, but something tells me not everyone here today is seeking an answer. I think that's very much true. I think that's absolutely the case. If you're talking about Gardner, they never know what they want. Everyone else, well, they'll be wasting their time here then. Why even bother showing up? Aren't you here for that reason? I'm here to see this through so our conflicts get resolved. That's it. Well, spirits aren't interested in conflict.
Don't say that.
We've been over this already. It's too late to stop now. Then I hope we're easily spared. Say, maybe once this is over, we can all be together again. What do you mean? Look at us. If the spirit is looking down on us, they must think we all hate each other. Do we think that? Is that what we think? There clearly are some tensions. But I wonder, who could these two be? Let's find out. Ah, this is the collector. What are you doing? Watcher. Oh, this is the collector. This is the watcher. Sorry, I swear I'm not slacking. That's not what I meant. What I meant is, what are you going to do after this? Oh, well, I haven't really thought about that. Will there even be an after? So this judgment might be pretty final. Who knows what will happen when we make our decision? You're talking as if someone is going to die tonight. Die? Well, I'm just really worried. I can't help it. Oh, we can look up. I'll make sure she never does so. It's cryptic. And the mask is facing away from us. We don't know who this is still. It's someone else who's observing. Stop thinking about her. Maybe that is who is in the sky there now. Huh? Just forget what I said and stop worrying so much. Don't let it get into your head, or else we won't have an after. Oh, okay. Do you want a hug once this is over? Sure. I think we could all use a hug. That didn't come out how I expected. Interesting. There's quite a bit of tension in this group. Let's see. The hero is over here talking to... Who is the hero talking to? We haven't met this one yet. It's the gardener. Can you really? No need for skepticism. We'll receive an answer soon, I'm sure of it. All right. What are you hoping for? That's a good question. I haven't hoped for anything in a while. What is it you do again? That is a good question. What does a hero do? You don't know? I gather plants. I'm not really interested in everyone's business. Well, I guess I defend our community from suspicious people? Is that a hero's job? That sounds incredibly stressful. Why would you even take that responsibility? Well, let me get back to you on that one someday. I'd hope for a hug. Hug? I can give you one if you'd like. No, I mean all of us. I usually hate hugs, but we're all so far from each other. Only you would want a hug, but hate getting one at the same time. So we're learning a lot about these witches and what their lives are and how they organize themselves and their community. Here's this last little group over here. Let's see what they have to say. This is Hunter again. So it's come to this. Guardian. This is the Guardian. I had no options left. Right. I only do what is best for us. I never accused you of anything. I see you didn't bother to invite everyone to join today's rite either. Oh. Inviting her would have been futile. Oh, what were we talking about? You're all cowards. It's this mask and these braids again. This big, flowing... Is that hair? Is that an animal pelt? Well, I feel like we might find out. Inviting her would have been futile. So, there's this woman we've all been dancing around here. Could that be the Whisperer? We've seen everyone else. A lot of things have changed since the last ceremony. It all started then. Started? Her absence last year was the result of something else. Something we were all too ignorant to notice. A decision will be made today, and I'm ready to carry that responsibility. If it's your shoulders it falls on. I'm not a fan of being accused of neglect when you're closest with her. So Hunter is close with this woman we've been talking about and dancing around that seems to be at the center of this conflict. What's done is done. Something has happened. Let's see. Looks like we've talked to everyone now. So let's maybe move something else, can we? We've moved the fruit. We have to wait for them to kind of shuffle back. We won't be here for long. Oh, and there they go. Now, let's try moving this rock. See what happens when we shook the rock and they moved again. And Hero is back talking to Hunter. Hero is talking to Healer. My mistake. Has the spirit shown themselves yet? No, the weather does seem outstandingly nice, So perhaps they're expecting us to change the weather. I expect they will send a signal in the sky. Oh, but we haven't done that yet, have we? There is no real sky for us to signal in. Unless they resort to more creative methods, like shaking a log or a rock. Ooh, what sign would that be? Healer's secret. Why? There's definitely something going on. That rock just moved. Can't you just tell us? Well, I actually don't know. Huh? A spirit shaking a rock doesn't really mean anything. The signal has to be bigger and louder for me to understand it. So healers, and I can't read minds. Oh, is this look now? By then it will be too late. This face is getting more fractured and more antagonistic. It's close now. So I don't know what the spirit will pick. Well, that's a bummer. I always thought you knew more than that. We're not always meant to know everything. Just how Whisperer hasn't told us anything. So the Whisperer, again, the center of this collector, rocks shaking. If the spirit doesn't come soon, someone else will start throwing rocks. I've never seen you throw rocks before. Always a first for everything. Say, how is the offering collection coming, collector? Same old, except Hunter is taking her sweet time. She's stubborn, but she'll come around. Say, Guardian, hasn't anyone tried to see if the Whisperer can help push this intervention along? The Whisperer is a subject that I'm done talking about. I cannot coerce her into anything she doesn't want to do. We must wait for the spirit to offer their judgment. Maybe she'll finally tell us what's wrong. Wow, that's a deflection if I've ever seen one. What's up here? You're all guilty. So again, the braids and the mask. His eye looking down in judgment. But this is a sadder eye than last time. This is a friend, the frown. You can see the face underneath the mask. And this is much more. This is, you're all guilty. We could read this multiple ways. We could say you're all guilty in this very sanctimonious, angry way. But also, perhaps there's a sadness. You're all guilty. You've all caused harm. Who's to say? What do you mean? If you don't know, then that explains a lot of why we're all here in the first place. We can talk about it later. So we're seeing allegiances form, and allegiances being questioned. And the Whisperer and the various members of this coven. Let's see, what did you have to say? Watcher, did that rock just shake? Probably, but that's not important right now. Is there anything you need to tell me, Watcher? Everyone's been complaining. Yet you've been pretty quiet in all this. No. Everything's fine. Excuse me. I just make sure offerings don't get stolen on the day of the ceremony. So the Watcher just watches offerings, it would seem. As long as I can do that, I'm happy. You still talk to the Whisperer, right?
I...
Well, yes, she still lives here. So the Witcher is still part of the community. If you want to get anything off your chest, now's the time. There's nothing, I swear. Don't let her prevent you from voicing your concerns. She isn't. I don't want her to also push you away from us. So, the Whisperer is getting in between the community members and pushing some of them away, it would seem. And the Watcher has a connection. We're seeing who has connections to the Whisperer still. That rock moved. Seems like even rocks get more stuff done than you, Hunter. Ha! I'll remember that. I see you still haven't gotten anything for the upcoming ceremony dinner. I've been taking my time.
Of course.
No one seems pleased with you about that. Are you thinking about joining the Whisperer? You seem very concerned, Gardener. That's unlike you. Even if plants are my best friends, I consider you a friend. Maybe the only one in this village of drama enthusiasts. The Gardener doesn't really care much for other people. Gardener cares about the community, but maybe not as much. I appreciate that. Well, are you going to or not? Depending on what happens today, who knows? I don't want to push any of you away, but I also don't want to be without her. How about we all give her a big hug when she gets here? Heh, sounds weird coming from you, but it's also something I was thinking. There's an emphasis on hugging, this welcoming, and kind of, on one hand, you could disarm someone by hugging them that way. On the other, you could show them that even when judgment is being asked, that you still care. Let's move this branch. Let's see what happens. Oh, there we go. What are Hunter and Listener talking about? These branches will be the death of me. Any last concerns bothering you, Hunter?
No.
Last concerns? That sounds fairly ominous. I'm assuming the spirit we summoned today isn't here to end us. Quite the opposite. I'm hoping tonight puts an end to all complaints, including the ones about your slow-going hunt for the ceremony. You can tell Collector she can take over my duties if she thinks she could do better. Well, I'm hoping I won't be doing that after today. Isn't it in our nature to voice our concern about things we don't like? When everyone's complaints filter through me, it really shouldn't be. Maybe there could be a second person who plays your role. Like Hero. They seem eager to help. That's absurd. This is my role. We just need the assurance of a spirit to tide everyone over, or resolve the source of conflict. Wishful thinking. You think this is all a mistake, don't you? Don't project yourself onto me. I want this to work. I need this to work. You're a good person, Listener. I'm sorry it's come to this. So this is a last resort. No one really wants this to happen. We don't want to call the spirit. You don't, generally speaking, want to call spirits if you can avoid it. That's kind of a given, it seems. That branch. You haven't seen anything suspicious, have you? That's your job, so no. Having them fight about me makes me feel important. So this is clearly the Whisperer, and they're fighting about the Whisperer, and that gives the Whisperer a sense of importance. That makes sense, when jealousy and conflict arise, it is flattering to the ego. It makes us, we exist then. If we can cause conflict, we have an active presence even when in our absence. Makes me feel important. It is. I'm just always scared that I'm going to miss something. Maybe you're too distracted keeping an eye out for something else. Who would that be? It's interesting that Watcher said, "Who would that be?" when Gardner just said something. Look, I'm not here to work things out between all of us. But haven't you ever thought how she took advantage of you? What do you mean? I hate spelling things out for everyone. Whisperer took out all her sadness on you. You weren't always like this, and now we have no idea what to do with Whisperer, or any idea of what she actually wants. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Fine, I'm not going to force anything out of you, but you should see the way the Collector is making eyes at you. Huh? The Collector's making eyes at the Watcher. Interesting. Let's see. What's going on over here then? What is with these things moving about? How does this evening find you, Collector? I've had better days.
I hope so.
No. Just no. Simple no. What is this response to? Oh, well, that's promising. That means it's only up from here. Well, if we look up and we get no, maybe it's not up from here. Maybe there are further depths to go. Right? I'm too tired to even think about anything properly. I understand, Collector. I hope this will all be over soon. Why are they making you do this? Huh? No one's making me do anything. You're always talking about how we shouldn't talk to spirits about the problems we can fix ourselves. Have you given up already?
I'm the one responsible for that.
I'm here because I haven't given up. Don't you understand? Even if the spirit doesn't do anything today, it made us all come together at last. So this must be the first time that they're actually getting together and talking. Maybe since Whisperer has departed or removed herself from this community in some way and isolated. This is their first time coming together. I don't know what Guardian and Listener did to you, but I hope you're ready to deal with the consequences. So something happened to the Listener. Guardian and the Whisperer are responsible. Guardian is over here talking to Hero. Should check in on them. Careful, a branch just moved here suddenly. Strange. It doesn't seem to have broken off. The ritual couldn't have taken place on a nicer day, though. I will take that as a sign of the spirit's goodwill. I'm sure the spirits will help us in our time of need, as long as they're not upset with us. But the spirits are there to help us, right? Oh, Hero is very suddenly terrified. Yet they are not our servants. That's why it's a boundary we do not cross. Oh, and it's okay just for this time, right? We'll play it by ear, and it's a gamble I'm willing to take. Oh, okay. So, we've got a sense of what our purpose is here. We are not really supposed to be drawn upon by them. Their community does not want to ask us for help because it's not really our responsibility to maintain their community. We're not a part of this community. We're an outsider. And they have had trouble solving their problems within the community. The problem of the Whisperer. We don't know what that problem is, but perhaps we'll find out. Maybe we won't. Maybe it doesn't matter. There's a big question about legibility in this game, and it is very deliberately illegible. Wasting time is apparently everyone's talent. You're good at wasting time? Don't lump me in with everyone else. This is ridiculous. Everyone here is being ridiculous. I'm sure that's not true. I mean, we all agreed on it. If someone held a knife to your throat, you'd do anything they say. Whoa. That doesn't sound like something anyone here would do. It's a matter of... I can't do this right now. The collector is very frustrated. Hero is frustrating the collector. Okay, just remember to breathe. I know, but I'm thinking about everything too much. That is a big, big mood watcher. I am definitely thinking about everything too much. Are you, friends? Are you thinking about everything too much? Hopefully right now you're not thinking about everything too much. You're just enjoying this story that we're sharing together. The sound of my voice and this game, this pleasant little, plunking and the soft harmony. Hopefully you're not thinking about everything too much. Listen, you won't help anything or anyone by being like this. You made me this way. This is this Whisperer. They do have a lot of unresolved tension. There's an anger, but it's not an angry anger. It's a very wounded kind of anger, it seems. You made me this way. And there's kind of an unspoken parenthetical here. Maybe there's a couple unspoken parentheticals here. And I read this personally as you made me this way by how you hurt me. You made me this way and you are judging me for it. You made me this way and you refused to engage with me about it. You were seeking the counsel and the judgment of someone outside of our community. And this person has been pushed outside of the community, or at least had to retreat inside themselves because of this fractured community. You made me this way. The way the community has made me fracturous. How do you see it? That's my current reading. Sorry. I guess I'm thinking about her again.
Right, right.
I know it hurts, but please always remember what I told you, okay? I know. What did Hunter tell the Watcher? You'll be fine. Just think less. Okay. The gardener's back here talking to the listener. Wonder what they're talking about. Okay, I get that you'd rather be somewhere else, but stop making those noises. On one condition. Can I leave?
Great.
Are you trying to make me more angry? I just wanted to fix something for once. What did the Whisperer try to fix? This is a very relatable sentiment to me. This is a statement that is so deeply drenched in trauma in my mind. I just wanted to fix something for once. Is this person who's broken things and they want to fix something? Or have they been unable to fix things? Have things been broken and they desperately wanted to fix them and they haven't been able to? Or they weren't even given the opportunity to try and fix them? Is Nate speaking about the community, themselves, a particular relationship or series of relationships? It's hard to say. But there's so much sadness in this statement to me. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's, I just wanted to fix something for once. Maybe there's anger. Maybe there's both. I recently played a game called Tell Me Why, and I wrote a review over for Waypoint about it. And one of the things is the transience and perspective, dependability of memory. Whose memory is which is correct. And it turns out that memory is very fungible, very malleable and protean, and we have to always think about what meaning we are intending and what meaning is being received. I just wanted to fix something for once. There's lots of readings we could do here, but let's perhaps continue. You know that's not my job. Don't worry, it's everyone's job. So the listener is harboring a great deal of resentment about having to be the listener. Or having, when people tell you their problems, even if you create a solution, that doesn't go away. You have been marked in a way by their traumas. And they kind of enfold themselves into your own. And it's not an inelegant solution. But listener definitely has some resentment about being the listener. Let's see, who else is there to talk to? What healer and collectors and guardian are saying? Oh, let me help you with that. I must not have dug it in deep enough. That's okay. Torches are flimsy. Say, you haven't heard anything, have you? You know I can't say. This will not be over until they choose to send us all some kind of big sign. I don't want to even think how mad they could be. A little bit of anger in exchange for a little bit of peace helps us all. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Who would be angry? Are we the ones who are going to be angry? Is it the Whisperer? It's hard to say. I don't feel angry. Do you, friends? I feel pity. I feel sadness and sorrow at this community is so deeply fractured. Oh, we already did this.
Great.
I thought I hadn't clicked on it, but I should have paid more attention. You can see it's still white. Ah, there it goes. We'll wait for them to go back, because I don't think we can just click on things willy-nilly. No. So we're going to sit here and be patient. We're going to watch them figure out what they're doing. And now they're back in their places. Let's knuckle over this torch. Let's see what happens. Oh, we've already talked to them about the torch. All those conversations have been exhausted. Okay. Now we've got the log left still. We'll have to inquire about the log. Okay. Let's try moving this log again. Who haven't we listened in on? Oh, we haven't. There's a couple we haven't listened in on. Let's listen in on them. The collector, the spirit. This spirit better get a move, or else the ceremony will never happen. Who knows? Maybe there won't be a harvest ceremony this year. How dare you say that? That's the one day in the year we must all strive toward and working our hardest. Well, I just grow plants and happen to give them to Healer for her rituals. Don't go turning out like the Whisperer did. Pushing us away.
Nah.
I don't really care. You're really jealous of her, huh? Jealous? I'm never jealous of anyone. Why would I be? Listen, if you need to get Watcher's attention, all you need to do is talk. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the last person to ask about this. But I'm sure you've grown enough to romance someone properly. We're done. Now, what about these two? That trunk. There was something strange about it. How goes the watch? Nothing suspicious spotted yet, or ever for that matter. So Watcher doesn't just watch the rituals, they watch out for the community as well. It is a peaceful day. I guess I'm glad since I became Watcher last year there's nothing dangerous happening. Not to worry, Watcher. When you were given this title, it was only because you work hard and are a precious member of the community. I thank you. This ritual may be nerve-wracking, but rest easy. You are not guilty in my eyes. Oh, was I suspicious before? Or does someone think I'm suspicious? Don't worry about it for now, Watcher. Am I just useless? We've poked a lot of doubt into the Watcher right now. That last conversation, that was fairly tense. And now we've got this glowing fire, so I guess it's time to do. You are the spirit summoned by them. What will you do? So we can set them free, these witches, or we can set her free, the Whisperer, or we can set everyone free. there's not a lot of information to make an answer. Everyone seems flawed here. But that's life. Everyone is flawed. And we hopefully try and course correct as best we can. But everyone's flawed. Everyone, is manacled by something else. And communities are difficult, but it doesn't mean that the community is right just because there's consensus. It's tricky what to do. Because my gut is to just set everyone free. Let them all be free and figure everything out from there. And then that might not be the answer. It's hard to say. What if we choose to set the Whisperer free? We, as the spirit, I don't really feel like I've heard enough or made need to understand what even happened here. But let's try it. So we're going to choose to set the Whisperer free.
Guess that's not good.
This was clearly a mistake.
I know I can't stay here any longer. You shouldn't make that decision for me.
We reach out to the dark realm of the unknown, looking for a hand to hold, or a sign to mend our souls.
So that was Don't Wake the Night, and I hope you enjoyed that. I did. I thought that was fun. When we ran along, this is an hour already. I didn't realize the time. I hope I didn't keep you up past your bedtime. Thank you. We'll call this a breezy ending. I hope you take these thoughts with you, these thoughts about community and that ending, and that you give Don't Wake the Night a chance yourself. What other paths did we miss? Did we not explore? There's so much more to dig in here. There's so much information we don't get. So many things to ask and to think about and to turn over. And I think it's a really wonderful game. It's a wonderful story and experience. And I hope you try it yourself. I will include a link in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll return next time. Maybe it won't be so long until then. But until then, sweet dreams. Good night and be well.